Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the Light Body Living podcast. This is another Wednesday, a beautiful Wednesday, a rainy Wednesday. And we are talking about the power of fruits tonight. And we're going to dive in deep with fruit sugars and some of those amazing fruits that you can use. Some of my favorites, and really talking about um, the common myths that go along with using so much fruits. Now, my name is Chantel Salmon. I'm a botanical healer here in Barbados, beautiful Barbados. And I have a clinic called the Light Body Holistic Clinic in Pelican Village in the heart of Bridgetown. And we do, or I do, iridology cleanses, a lot of green juice cleanses, herbals, tinctures and teas, loose leaf teas, using local herbs, and then we dabble um, into like food workshops, um, raw boxes, lunches, um, have been the history of the Light Body Holistic Clinic because we have a kitchen, organic herb kitchen within the clinic where we do all fresh life foods and juices for you. And it even hosts the apothecary. And so that's a little bit about me. So let's start talking about fruit and fruit sugars and people associate it with weight gain and blood sugar issues, and you really need to clarify that these fruit sugars are naturally occurring sugars. Um, if you are having issues with sugar, whether it be diabetes, cancer, dementia, things that will um, the spike of blood sugar would make it worse. This is something where you would watch the glycemic index so that you know the type of fruits that you can use. Um, but a lot of these food sugars go through your system in a very different way than the rest of the food and the refined sugars. So you really want to eat more fruits than some of these other things. And you can slow down the pace at which the fruit go through your system by mixing it with fats or doing different recipes so you can slow down the absorption of those sugars. But sugars are really important in terms of our the average person getting enough energy. Yes, we do have people that do, because I do this sometimes, and that is you go through your fast where you get your ketones up and you're burning fat as fuel. But most people, they don't stay there. This is something they do intermittently, and then they go back into um, eating. And you want that if you're focusing on a high raw diet, that you're focusing on a lot more fruits as your main source of fuel, and then you intermix that now with your vegetables. Um, these vegetables are a combination of greens and proteins and so on, and you're getting good fats in there, and you're keeping your sugars at a point where you're not making a lot of juice with sugar. But this is one of the things that people do, and that really spikes your blood sugar. Um, so, for example, I like Body Holistic Clinic. I do green juices. I focus on green. My juices are signature green juices, and that is because you have a lot of people coming through that are diabetic, they have cancer, they have memory issues. Remember, I'm an iridologist, so you can see combination of some of these things. By the time you finish the intake form and take the picture of their eyes, you have a better understanding of their life journey when it comes to their health. And now you can put together a meal plan for them. And in a lot of cases, you need to cut back on the carbohydrates, the refined sugars, and get them into a more I get them into increasing their um, daily servings of fruit. They put in a green drink. They also cut back on all the fruit juices. And that green drink that I was talking about in my signature cleanse is now taking you on a level now where you are reducing some of that mucoid plaque. You are taking out or reducing all the sugars that you're taking in during the cleanse, whether it be 3, 5, 7, or 10 days. And it starts to help you to reset your system in a very gradual way. We combine that with shots like kombucha, aloe lemonade, and we do our aloe lemonade in a way that it is also helpful for the mucoid plaque, but it dilates the glomerulus and starts to soften up all that compacted stuff that is around your colon area and down the digestive tract when it comes to mucoid plaque or the biofilm, as they call it. And this is really important, especially for cancer patients, diabetics. You want to be able to bring these things down to a level that is manageable, and then you have to maintain it. That's the most important part to the scenario. And this is where increasing your um, fruits as your main source of fuel gives you hydration, it gives you your antioxidants, it gives you your fuel, of course. It's high in fiber, minerals, and is easy to absorb. So that's where you should start. That's where you get into a lot more fruit. Then you put in your greens and your fats and so on. So I think I gave you a mouthful there. All right. So the once you know the difference between the natural sugars and the refined sugars, then you're essentially focusing on slowing down the sugar absorption into your bloodstream. Okay, and that's really what you want. You want fruit that are also very high in fiber. Um, that helps a lot, and you want to make sure you're doing things like keeping the glycemic index for those fruits low, which would be things like berries, guavas, would fit in there too. Um, you would moderate the amount of pineapple that you eat because that's a little higher on the glycemic scale. And you can do that by reducing or keeping the portion small to 1 to 2 servings. Um, you can also pair the fruits with different fats and so on to slow that all down. I always thought, I think it's just from an aesthetic point of view though, that when you see these fruit bowls or what we call fruit salad, I always think in my head that it's missing something. And it's only when I got older and into the chefing, I realized what I thought was missing was coconut jelly. And I think I instinctively think that coconut jelly should be part of a fruit salad where it is a fat that has such a wonderful flavor that it helps to slow down the whole process of the fruit spiking ability. And I like that in terms of making mousses. I love making mousses. Iris has this thing with his pies, and I have my thing with my mousses. I love making mousse. And mousse is a combination of fruit, sea moss, and coconut jelly. And then you can play around with the sweeteners, um, just because of color. But this is where you want to now take it to a level where it is something that you can easily give to your cancer patients and they not get spikes in sugar. Um, but they're comfortable in using it. And this is something that you just have to practice in terms of which fruits you pick up with the high fiber content, making sure that you're low in the lower glycemic fruits. Um, the other thing that you want to integrate fruits for in your diet is the removal of plaque. This is a huge problem, and I find that this is why I start with cleanse and then move on to changing out your diet in terms of a good meal plan that goes forward into the future with good maintenance, good fasting protocol, so that you do a little intermittent fasting and you rotate your greens. You make sure, and besides rotating your greens, you want to make sure that you're how should I say, you're getting different greens in the from the salad, from the green vegetables. You're doing intermittent fasting, but you're also just generally putting in more fruit. The serving of fruits I like to put people to do is more 4 to 6 servings daily. Um, it it takes away from having to drink so much water. This 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, I think it's a bit much, and I do more like 40 to 50 ounces, and you put in more fruits in your diet. Um, but the amount of plaque that builds up in most people's system, and the toxins, and um, just general congestion in the colon. You see the distortion in the shape of the colon as well. The, you need astringent things to really help to move those through, and I do it with a combination of herbal teas as well as different fruit, but that's more in the eating process as opposed to the cleanse itself. So the fruit that would be like the most astringent to really help you with breaking down a lot of mucoid plaque would be those dark grapes. I think I have that on my list in terms of fruits that you should really be focused on and always have around you. And the top of the list, my favorite, is blueberry. I eat lots of blueberries. It's one of the things that I very much focus on when I go away. Um, because blueberries here can be quite expensive, but blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Raspberries are actually extremely fiber rich, so I like to put those in. Um, they reduce inflammation in your gut. They're just good overall health for you. Um, I like eating. Sometimes I try a variety of apples, but the apple that we tend to juice with at work is the Granny Smith green apple, very low in sugar. That's the one that we put through the system with the cucumbers and the celery, parsley. We rotate out the more culinary or medicinal herbs that go in it, dandelion, pawpaw. There are different ones that go through it. The next one up, which is one of my favorites, especially for moose, and that is guavas. I know it's considered in the category of berries, but in the Caribbean, we don't look at it that way. Very high in vitamin C, very high in fiber. They're in season right now. Um, Very good at improving your digestion. So this is one of those things that when they're in season, I use them all the time. I also make a guava tomato sauce for one of my pasta rasta pasta dishes because we get inundated with guavas. Then you obviously I like pineapple for lots of reasons. Pineapple and papaw are high in enzymes, really help to break down foods, break up any plaque, and improve your digestive system immensely. Um, so these are things that you can eat in small portions. I really like when it comes to papaw that you eat at least a tablespoon to two of the seeds. You kind of crunch them up with your teeth so that you can really hit any parasites that are in your digestive tract that you can get out. They definitely don't like papaw seeds. Next up that I really like is soursop. Soursop is creamy. It is beautiful. They have done lots of research showing that from the fruit to the flowers are very good in helping you when it comes to preventing cancers. The combination of the rich antioxidants. Um, and I use it in different ways. You just soursop punch is what I grew up with, but now in the raw food world, they're using soursop as your replacement of fish, and I like that because I do it with steak fish, um, slices of fish. I've shredded it out and made it into salt fish, so it goes with the ackee. Um, I think I did it another way besides saltfish. Oh, fish sticks. I've done that too. Um, Sorry about this. Phone was ringing. Um, but these foods are high antioxidant foods, low glycemic foods, or moderate glycemic foods. So you don't eat more than 1 to 2 servings for the higher ones. Um, They're very good for your eyes as well. We're talking about papaw, so you make sure you use some of those seeds. Now, golden apples. When I say golden apple, we have a in the Caribbean we have an apple that comes around at this time of year. I mean, it's all over the place right now, and this golden apple is extremely high in vitamin C. Um, I like to use it in a kind of pickle um, chutney form. I like to do golden apple crisp with nuts. That once you let the golden apples get very ripe, it is a wonderful, wonderful dish for Christmas. Um, just eat them, take them to the sea and eat them in salt water. They're awesome as well, and that's how you grew up doing it as kids. The seed is like this spiky thing. Is fantastic. It's a fantastic. Oranges. I have an orange. For some strange reason, my aunt treated me 8 oranges at a time. But very different from the typical orange tree. We call them Jamaican oranges. Skin is still green. It gets a kind of yellowy hue. The inside is beautiful. It has a very different taste than what we know as oranges out there on the market. And very, very high in vitamin C. And this is one of the things you tend to use when you're doing tinctures and stuff. I like to put it um, with, or we even do it when we are taking a bit of aloe. You take the aloe, you take your little orange, a little slice of orange, so that it cuts the bitterness. The peels we keep and dry them so that we can put them in some of our recipes for herbals. Avocado will fit into this category because avocado technically is a fatty fruit, and avocado and citrus go well together, very well together. And good brain health, helps to lower the blood sugar. So these are things that you should be using on a regular basis. Cherries, our cherries are different from North American cherries. Acerola berry is what is called around the world, but this cherry is the second highest source of vitamin C in the world. Very good at its capacity to help with collagen production. Combine it with sea moss, goes really well. It is used in beauty products for facial mask and to really beautify the skin and tone the skin. Combining it with aloe vera, um, same thing, putting it on as a face mask, it really tightens up your skin really well. And then last but not least, ackee. Ackee, Jamaican ackee is also a fruit, fatty fruit, good for aiding in brain function, good energy booster. And like I said, I like to combine it with either mushrooms or soursop to get that kind of, because you can come up with a wonderful fishy seasoning. I use lemon juice and scallions and so on, and dehydrate your soursop, and then mix it well with a nice cheesy tasting ackee, some tomato and nutritional yeast and so on, and you have a great dish that you can eat on the regular. The bonus one, which we talked about for some reason at the very beginning, was very astringent, the high in resveratrol. And, I prefer that you use them with seeds. Of course, there's all this about the seeds, but using them with seeds, cardiovascular health is very helpful. Um, but you could do a great cleanse where it really helps to remove a lot of the plaque that you build up within your system. We also do a cleanse where we combine Culture's Delight. That is a combination that you can do where you eat grapes, but you're drinking a citrus juice, which is kind of heavy on grapefruit, um, because grapefruit is very good at helping re- reduce the cholesterol plaque now within your artery wall. So if you could eat grapefruit and grapes for a number of days, um, it is something that will cleanse the artery walls, the plaque. That in itself can be a cleanse to focus in on just those areas, you know? All right. So we were talking about how important fruit is and listing all the fruit. There's so many things that you can take away from this. Make sure that your fruits are fresh, wild, or organic. And make sure that they're as fresh as possible. Not, I like to eat mostly fruit that are grown here. I eat those 90% of the time. I will use lemons. Um, I hardly use grapefruit. Not grapefruit. I hardly use avocados out of season. I like to use the avocados when they're in season here, and I just wait till it comes around again. Right now, sour socks are in, guavas are in. I saw um, unusual looking mangoes. Golden apples are everywhere, and I'm gonna start collecting those for Christmas. It's kind of early, but you let them ripen up and you cut them up and you can put them in the fridge. I'm gonna juice some and cube some so that I can put everything together and make some golden apple crisp for the new year. Um, I have never made a golden apple mousse, so I'm definitely going to do that one as well. But this is amazing, the things that you can do, especially using that list I gave you of fruit. If you stick to kind of those things and not go too heavy on very sweet fruit or anything too acidic, depending on how your stomach is working, you can really put together wonderful green drinks, wonderful desserts, and you can keep it where it is in a range where it's easy for you to manage your blood sugar. And I tend to focus on that a lot because those are the type of people I'm seeing at the clinic. And I've been sitting down working out some of the workshops I'm going to do for 2025. And I want to focus on workshops for cancer patients since there seems to be uh, a, a spike in the amount of cancer patients that are coming through. Um, I want to be able to make them comfortable and sure that they can create wonderful, healthy dishes. I was thinking, things like coconut cauliflower rice with lentil sprouts and some mushroom stew. It's a good place to start, and you make a wonderful salad. I love tahini dressing. I was thinking of rasta pasta with pesto made with with avocados. Um, like I said, mousses. You want to have a nice dessert. You keep the water to a spring water. Um, if you could get a natural sparkling water, you can do that for something different. Squeeze a little lemon or lime in it, but stay away from the fruit juices. And you kind of, you know, work on changing out your diet. This is something that we can do either online or in the clinic, where you're reducing your refined sugars. I actually have a course online called Cleanse, Nourish, and Reset, where same thing, you go through the first couple of weeks of reducing out the meats, because that is acid, that's toxic, um, and you reduce those down, starting with the red meat, and you go all the way down to fish, and then you reduce down the heavier carbohydrates, leaving in just the squashes and the pumpkins, which are fruit, and a little bit of parsnips, carrots, that kind of thing. And you slowly move everything out till you get to a point that you're eating a lot more raw food. It doesn't have to be fully raw, but if you're dealing with cancers, then you want to get as close to 100% as possible for a while to build a new foundation, and then your appetite opens up and you start putting back in certain things, but now you're maintaining yourself at a different level completely. So you're what I would call high raw, but you still put in some cooked food, and you try to stay away from the animal products. They're right now we're at that level where a lot of raw food can mimic um, things that you love. I try to do things from sauce to mushroom stew to riblets. Those are burgers, mushroom burgers. I'm a little heavy handed when it comes to mushroom dishes. I like mushrooms. They have aesthetic quality that I really like. And cocoa. I like using a lot of cocoa as well. Cocoa in different ways. Cocoa chocolate is a very good vehicle for serving a lot of medicines. So, cocoa tea, where you're putting in, you make any tea beforehand using like lion's mane and some rosemary, and then you build out a really nice milk, and then you add your cocoa to that, and you put in your cinnamon, you sweeten it. You're now talking about building out a drink that is very nutritious, also brain very good for your brain function, and this is something that you can do on a regular basis. So the power of fruits in your life should be utmost important. But going back, you should do a cleanse. So it doesn't mean that you have to be cleansing all the time. I know people do this, but it tends to get spread out because people don't do it consistently. But what I would really like to see is that within a year, people do 10 days 4 times. So every 3 months, you do 10 days. So by the end of the year, you've done your 40 days, you've cleaned your system slowly, and in the meantime, you're going high raw gradually. So by the time the year is over, you would have changed out a lot of your old eating habits, put in new ones, and really take yourself to a whole different level. And that's what we're going to be focusing on for 2025. We're going to do it a little differently and get people from the time they come in to start their 3 month process, where every 3 months they're doing a cleanse, and then in the meantime or in between time, you'll be doing you'll be gradually changing out taking out all those refined processed foods, taking out red meats, and slowly changing out, substituting things until you get to yourself to a point where for those of you that are ready to graduate to higher vibrational levels, you can do a high raw diet because that's where you need to go. If you really want to make significant inroads in these times, increase your intuitiveness, increase your energy, um, get rid of that brain fog, clearer skin, hydrated all the time, not having a lot of congestion or mucus buildup, bowel movements are great. All those things come with doing a high raw diet. So this is where you need to work on getting to. There's nothing better than it when you can maintain it and just eat high raw all the time. Really, and in the tropics, you can easily see how the seasons work out, especially if you're going to the market. They just change automatically because they're just selling what they can get. And so the trees just provide. Um, Overseas, Canada, the States is a little different. I notice you can get everything all year round now. And that's where you have to be more discerning in terms of what you pick up. Um, and even if you don't eat seasonally, eating high raw, more local, especially in the summertime, um, will be also extremely helpful because you're now putting in nutrients that the the ultimate freshness will be coming during the spring, summer, and fall. And this is one of the times where eating hearty pumpkins, squashes, and so on to get you ready for the winter. All these things are important. They naturally come forward with certain fruits that you can focus in on. Okay, so I hope this all was extremely helpful, and I will be back next week with another episode. So take good care.